Something happened last month that will make some agencies millions of dollars and expose the rest. ChatGPT started testing ads inside their free tier. Not sponsored content, not partnerships, actual advertising infrastructure. And if you run an agency, this will either make you or expose you. I'm not here to hype you up about AI. I've been building agencies for 12 years. I've sold multiple companies. I've run agencies all the way to $2 million a month working with companies like Netflix, HBO, and Amazon. And I'm telling you this because I've seen this movie before. Most people are going to lose money here. Not because the platform doesn't work, but their business doesn't deserve scale. This will look like an ad opportunity, but it will actually expose most businesses. Let me explain why. When Google Ads first rolled out, the rules were completely different. Facebook followed the same pattern. Massive attention, almost no competition. For about 2 years, you could acquire clients for pennies. The platform had search intent, but almost no advertisers. If you understood what people were searching for, you won. Then Facebook came. Billions of eyeballs, no competition. For 2 years, you could buy attention for a fraction of what Google cost. But here's what people forget. The winners on Google weren't just early. They understood search intent. They knew how to match an offer to a question. The winners on Facebook weren't just early. They understood social behavior. They knew how to interrupt attention and redirect it. Every platform shift rewards a different type of business. Google rewarded clarity. Facebook rewarded creativity. ChatGPT will reward diagnosis. And most agencies can't diagnose anything. They just execute. That's the problem. What makes ChatGPT ads different isn't scale, it's intent. And I need you to understand what that means. ChatGPT has 3 main things baked into the platform that Google and Facebook never had. Let me break them down. Number 1, declared intent. Google is someone raising their hand. Facebook is someone scrolling. ChatGPT is someone sitting across the table explaining their problem. On Google, someone searches business coach near me. You guess what they want. On Facebook, someone likes a post about entrepreneurship. You infer what they need. On ChatGPT, someone types, I've been trying to scale my agency for 7 months. I'm stuck at $15K a month. I don't know if I need better problems or better people. That's not a query. That's a confession. You're not guessing anymore. You're responding to declared problems. Number 2, contextual understanding. ChatGPT doesn't just know what someone asked. It knows the conversation that led to that question. It knows they've been researching hiring frameworks for 3 weeks. It knows they've been trying sales training programs that didn't work. It knows they're skeptical of consultants. The context changes everything. Number 3, continuity and memory. Google forgets after 1 click. Facebook forgets after that scroll. But ChatGPT remembers. It knows you haven't taken your car to the mechanic because you're still trying to figure out that rumbling noise in the engine. It knows you've hired twice and fired once. It knows you've rebuilt your offer over and over and over. It knows you're stuck choosing between hiring sales or delivery and that you've been struggling with the same business problem for months. And it knows exactly how to talk to you, your tone, your language, your decision-making style. This is the first advertising platform built on declared intent, not inferred intent. And that changes the game completely. Because if your offer is weak, there's nowhere to hide. If your positioning is generic, you'll get ignored. If you can't diagnose a problem better than ChatGPT can, why would someone leave the platform to talk to you? Most agencies won't fail because of ads. They'll fail because of their offer. We'll come back to that. If you're realizing your offer or positioning isn't as sharp as it needs to be, I have a video on my channel where I break down this stuff in detail. How to sharpen your offer, fix positioning, and stay ahead of opportunities like the one that we're talking about here. So subscribe and stick around. It'll be worth it. Let me make this practical for a second. Because if you run an agency, this isn't just an opportunity for your business. It's an opportunity for every client you work with. Think about how most agencies acquire customers today. You run Facebook ads, you run Google ads, you run cold outreach. All of those channels rely on inferred intent. You're guessing what someone might want based on behavior. But ChatGPT is different because the person is literally explaining their problem in detail. So instead of targeting demographics, you're targeting conversations. Let me give you a few examples. Imagine you run an agency that helps local gyms grow membership. Someone opens ChatGPT and types, I've been trying to lose weight for 6 months and nothing's working. Your ad could appear right inside the conversation and say, most people trying to lose weight aren't failing because of discipline. They're failing because they don't have a structured program. We help busy professionals lose 20 pounds in 90 days with personalized training plans. If you want help, you can book a free consultation right here. That's not interruption marketing. That's problem response marketing. Another example. Imagine you run an agency helping B2B companies generate leads. Someone asks ChatGPT, why isn't my outbound effort working? Your ad could say, if your outbound isn't working, it's usually one of three things: bad targeting, weak messaging, or no system behind it. We help B2B companies build outbound systems that generate 30 meetings a month. If you want, we can show you exactly what's broken in your current system. Again, you're not guessing. You're responding to a declared problem. One more. Imagine you help coaches launch online programs. Someone asks ChatGPT, how do I turn my expertise into a course? Your ad could appear and say, most experts don't fail at creating courses because of content. They fail because they build the course before validating demand. We help coaches launch profitable programs using a validation framework that removes that risk. See the pattern? The ad isn't random, it's diagnostic. It speaks directly to the question the person just asked. And that's why agencies that understand offer and positioning are going to win on this platform. Because the skill won't be running ads. The skill will be understanding the problem behind the question. Before you spend $1 on this platform, you need to fix your economics. Most agencies have a fixed marketing budget. They say, we can spend $75,000 a year on marketing. That's the wrong frame. A fixed budget assumes you don't know if marketing works. It assumes you're guessing. If you know your unit economics, you don't have to have a budget. You have a machine. Here's what I mean. Let's say your average client pays $25,000 and you're comfortable spending $4,000 to acquire that client. Ads, sales calls, onboarding, all of it. That's your allowable cost per sale. At that point, spend becomes a lever, not a limit. As long as you're acquiring clients for less than $4,000, you scale. You don't stop. You don't cap. You just keep going. This is how real operators think. And on ChatGPT Ads, if you do this right, you're going to acquire clients for a fraction of the allowable costs. Because the leads are going to be red hot. But here's the problem. Most agencies don't have margins that allow for this. They're charging $5,000 a month and spending $3,000 on delivery. They have no room to acquire. And when this platform opens up, they'll try to compete. They'll burn money. And they'll blame the platform. But the platform didn't fail them. The business model did. If your margins are thin and your offer is commoditized, if you're competing on price, you're not ready for this. Fix that first, because this opportunity is massive. But it's not for everyone. It's for operators who understand unit economics, who know their numbers, who've built businesses that deserve scale. Most agencies won't fail because of ads. They'll fail because of their offer. Let me show you what a real offer looks like. I've been running ads for about 12 years. And the fundamentals haven't changed. Not on Google, not on Facebook, not on ChatGPT. There are 4 parts to every ad that works. I'm going to walk you through them, and I'm going to show you why ChatGPT makes them unavoidable. Part 1, diagnosis. You need to capture attention by naming the problem better than the person experiencing it can. Not a vague problem, a specific one. You've hired smart people, but everything still runs through you. You're stuck between $10K and $30K a month, no matter how hard you work. That's a diagnosis. You're not selling yet, you're proving you understand. On ChatGPT, this matters more than ever because the person just told the platform their exact problem. But if your ad doesn't reflect that problem back to them with precision, they'll ignore you. Generic doesn't work here. Part 2, prescription. When you've diagnosed the problem, you need to prescribe the solution. This is your value proposition. We help agency owners scale by building outbound sales systems. We recruit, train, and manage SDRs so you don't have to. That's a prescription. We help busy executives lose 20 pounds in 90 days without giving up their favorite foods. That's a prescription. You're not explaining how yet. You're just telling them what they'll get. On ChatGPT, this has to be specific, because the platform already gave them a generic answer. If you sound like ChatGPT, why would they leave? Part 3, authority. Now you need to prove you can deliver. This could be numbers. We've worked with 300 agencies. Our clients have generated $50 million in revenue. This could be credentials, awards, certifications, case studies. If you're just starting, you can reference research. You can quote experts. You can show third-party validation. But you need something. Because on ChatGPT, trust is the only moat. This platform is already trusted. You're not. So you have to earn it fast. Part 4, escalation. This is your call to action. But on ChatGPT, it's not just a CTA, it's a progression. You're not asking someone to leave a trusted platform to go on your website. That's a downgrade. You're asking them to escalate to something better. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in a minute. But here's what you need to understand. This framework, diagnosis, prescription, authority, escalation, has already worked. It worked 12 years ago, it works today. But on ChatGPT, it's not optional anymore, because the platform is so good at giving generic answers. If you sound generic, you lose. If you can't diagnose better than AI, you're done. If you can't prescribe something specific, you're done. If you can't prove authority, you're done. And if you can't create a compelling escalation, you're done. This platform will punish weak positioning instantly. And that's why most agencies are going to struggle here. Not because they don't know how to run ads, but because they don't have a business worth advertising. We'll come back to this. Let's talk about what happens after the ad, because this is where most people will fail. On Google, the CTA was simple. Click here, go to a landing page, fill out a form. On Facebook, same thing. Click here, watch a video, book a call. But ChatGPT doesn't want you to leave, and neither does the user. They're already in a trusted environment. They're already getting answers. Why would they go to your website? So your CTA has to be a progression, not an exit. Here are 3 ways to do that. Option 1, human escalation. You acknowledge that ChatGPT gave them a good answer, but now it's time to talk to a human. It looks like you've been working on this for quite some time. The difference between us and ChatGPT is that we've lived through this exact problem. We can walk you through it human to human. You're not saying ChatGPT is wrong. You're saying there's a next level. Option 2, custom environment. You offer a specialized tool or system that ChatGPT doesn't have. ChatGPT gave you the framework, but we will build a custom AI system specifically for agency owners scaling past 50K a month. It's called whatever you want to call your tool. It's designed to solve the exact problem. You're not competing with ChatGPT. You're offering something adjacent. Option 3, in-platform commitment. This is the most powerful one. You let them take action without leaving. Buy a ticket, book a consultation, join a waiting list, all inside the platform. This is how the platform is designed. Sam Altman doesn't want people leaving ChatGPT. He wants commerce to happen inside. And if you can facilitate that, you win, because the friction is gone. Now, here's what you need to understand. These CTAs only work if you've built trust. And trust is the real moat, not ads. Because anyone can run ads, but not everyone can earn trust in 30 seconds. And that's where personal brand comes in. ChatGPT is incredibly powerful, but it's not a human. It has no lived experience, no scars, no stories. And that's your advantage. Your personal brand is the only thing that differentiates you in a world where AI can answer any question. People don't care about business brands anymore. They never really did. Social media was never built to amplify logos. It was built to amplify people. And ChatGPT will route attention the same way. If you're a faceless agency, you're invisible. If you're a person with a point of view, you're magnetic. I've tested this over and over. Personal brands outperform business brands in ads by 3x to 5x. Same offer, same targeting, different face. The person wins every time because people trust people, not companies. And on ChatGPT, where trust is the only moat, your personal brand is everything. So if you're not building this in public, if you're not sharing your story, if you're not positioning yourself as a key person of influence in your industry, you're leaving money on the table. And one of your competitors is going to figure this out. They're going to build their personal brand. They're going to show up on ChatGPT as a trusted voice, and they're going to win. Don't let that happen. Start now, because the window is closing. Let me give you some context on the scale of this opportunity. Hundreds of millions of people use ChatGPT every week, and the vast majority are on the free tier. Realistically, over 700 million people see ads each week. And most of these conversations are about education, advice, research, and decision making. These are not cold leads. These are people actively trying to solve problems. And you're going to have the opportunity to show up in those conversations, but only if you're ready. Only if your offer is sharp, your positioning is clear, your economics are sound. This isn't about advertising. It's about whether your business deserves to scale. And I'm telling you this because I don't want you to miss it. I was there for Google. I was there for Facebook. And I'm telling you, this is bigger. Not because of the technology, but because of the intent. For the first time, you're not guessing what people want. They're telling you. And if you can respond to that with precision, with authority, with a real offer, you're going to win. But you have to move now. Because in 12 or 18 months, this window closes. The platform gets crowded. The costs go up. The advantage disappears. Right now, you have a shot. So get your economics right. Build your personal brand. Sharpen your offer. And when the starting gun goes off, be ready to run. If this resonated with you and you felt the urgency, start with the free school community link below. I break down how to sharpen your offer, fix positioning, and I share updates on opportunities like this as they happen. And if you want to talk it through directly, you can book a call from there. It's not a sales pitch, just a real conversation between operators. I'll see you on the next one.